Seymour and Annie Soupault were half-brother and sister. Their mother, Margaret Soupault, had been a journalist until her last suicide attempt when, vexed at still being alive, she retreated into a solitary life of cryptic crosswords and BBC News radio. Margaret Soupault had threatened and attempted suicide so many times that Seymour and Annie were neither surprised nor convinced by the suicide notes that arrived in their letterboxes one September morning.
Like most siblings, Seymour and Annie had spent the majority of their childhood belittling each other. Over the years, they gradually became more self-absorbed and completely lost interest in one another. After a typically perfunctory conversation, it was grudgingly agreed that the best thing to do would be to go home.
Seymour and Annie had little in common, other than their bipolar mother, their equally estranged relationships with their fathers, and their mutual inability to behave like grown-ups. Annie had attended the dysfunctional Academy of the Arts, where she studied painting. After an unsuccessful career as an artist, she gave up painting altogether when she read that the universe could one day collapse inward on itself. Since then, she had deemed all human endeavour pointless and had got a job in a ginger beer factory, which she found suitably meaningful. Seymour had had a brief career on the stage before a disastrous performance of Waiting for Godot, when the molecular machinery of his synapses went awry. He had not tried the boards since. Over the last 5 years, Seymour had tried his hand at various professions, finding them all equally unsustainable. Seymour lived alone with his dog, Zola. Neither of them had been home in several years. In fact, the mere idea engendered strong feelings of anxiety and resentment in both the Soupault children. Seymour and Annie recognised no one, yet everyone seemed strangely familiar and a little bit hostile. Over the next few years, Seymour and Annie would both be occasionally struck by moments of inexplicable sadness that would fade almost as quickly as they had surfaced. Annie went back to university and did a PhD in art history. She then spent the next 15 years writing academic papers that nobody read. She was 45 when she died in a hunting accident. Seymour got married to a potter from Aubrey-Wodonga and had 2 children, Winston and Walter. Walter was to become the artist his aunt had failed to be, with his retrospective at the Pompidou Centre drawing record crowds. Seymour died at age 89. He was sitting in his garden reading The Art of Happiness when his heart gave out.